All right, welcome everybody to the first episode of RZN Presents, podcast brought to you by Acid for Square Studio. Our first guest, special man. I had a pleasure getting to know him at school, and now we're out working together at a podcast, or not a podcast, but a studio. So let's introduce the man of the hour, 249Tahir. Let's
Oh,
give it
man.
up. Let's give it up.
Love, it's the lies you tell when you hold me.
How you doing, man?
I'm chilling,
You chilling?
It's
You
just,
living good?
just rolling.
All right. So what does the 249 stand for? What we got there?
249 is usually, not usually, but it's actually the code for Sudan. Whenever you're trying to call Sudan, you like plus 249. and
Okay.
then the
Oh
number.
yeah, area code. Okay,
Yeah.
bet.
So I don't know if they call it area code or like a key.
Key.
to-
Yeah. Key code. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just gotta rep the city, rep the country that I'm from.
Yeah. So you was born out there?
Yeah, born and
Yeah.
raised.
So what's that like? Like I don't personally know too much about Sudan. So like
Yeah,
what's a
I mean-
normal like your childhood experience out there?
it's a third world company.
Company.
It's a third
They moving
world
business out there.
No, but it's a third world country,
Yeah.
and it's kind of, for me, I feel like it was fun, but I don't think people from out here would go. Even like Sudanese people who was born and raised in America wouldn't go out there and be like, oh, it's gonna be tough for them a little bit.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, some people was like, oh, it's fun, I like it. But
Yeah.
for me, it was like, that's what I was born into. That's been my whole life. Even when I came out here, when I came out here, stayed for a long time. My first visit back was like after 4 years since I've been here.
Okay.
And then when I came back, it was just like, old days. So yeah.
And so you're basically saying that like growing up there is cool, but like if you were like coming out from like here to there, it would like be a transition for
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely, you can't, you're gonna have to drink from like, water bottles and stuff like that. Cause, but for me, I don't know if I'm tough or not, but
It makes you stronger,
but,
right?
Yeah, I just drink whatever from
Hell
the
yeah.
street anywhere. So yeah, I was chilling.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So damn. So even like the running water is just not.
Yeah, like tap water. It's for if you're used to coming from out here,
Yeah.
you go out there,
All
tap water.
chlorine and all everything. in the
Yeah,
water.
it's gonna mess with you for a long
Yeah.
time.
Oh
but-
yeah. When hella people like go out to different like countries and shit, like
Mhm.
that, they be getting sick for like the first little bit.
Yeah,
They adjust into
yeah.
everything.
My
out there.
my first visit, I thought I was scared. I was a little scared. I was like, I only got a month out there, so I'm not trying to spend it in the hospital, like half of it.
Yeah, No.
So I was drinking purified water for a long time, and then one night I ran out of water, and I was like, there's nothing open right now to get water. So I just, grabbed tap water, and I was like, bet.
And you chilling?
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
chilling.
it's
So-
in your bloodstream now.
Oh
You-
yeah, definitely.
you fast.
Yes, sir.
So introduced you, but how would you define yourself? Like, I know you make music, you produce with other people and stuff like
Mhm.
that, but you also do camera work.
Yes.
So like, how would you define yourself? Like, that was
That's a tough
question.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I still do a lot of video stuff,
Heck yeah.
and I still do music every day, and I also do photography.
Yeah.
So you can say photographer, videographer,
Yeah.
music producer, I guess, and now hopefully audio engineer soon.
Yeah. What you
Yeah.
mean soon?
I mean,
you at the
when you
studio right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like when I first pick up gigs and stuff like
When you
that.
start
doing that.
getting moving.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel
that's
you.
that's when I start
when it's
calling.
like it's when it's you like making the movement,
Mhm.
not like just something in progress. Like
Mhm.
it's like you on top, you
Yep.
got the gig, you going out there, all
Yes,
that.
sir. Yep.
Yeah, that's the goal for sure.
Mhm.
So you don't define yourself as one thing. It's a
Yeah,
chamber of entertainment.
entertainment. There you go.
Entertainment, yeah,
Yeah,
entertainment
video ain't
actually,
whatever
yeah.
you see, whatever
Chamber
you
of
hear.
entertainment sounds like some Diddy shit. So maybe let's not go with that one.
But whatever you hear, whatever you see, I can do it.
I bet. Yeah. So what's
Sometimes. Yeah.
first experience with the camera?
first experience with the camera. I was a kid. My dad had one of those camcorders, you know, of every dad.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
handheld.
then it was the one with the tapes, like the old ones.
Okay, yeah.
And then whenever we had like a party, family party, weddings, blah blah blah, just everybody was like, "Yo, come dance." I was like, "Nah, I'm taking video."
I'm taking video. That's cool. Like, how old
Yeah.
were you when you started doing that?
Ooh, 6.
6? Okay, yeah. You just
Yeah.
kind of like naturally gravitated to that.
Yeah, that's been like, I don't know. I had interest in computer science,
Okay.
but I guess I had more interest in filming and
The
video.
visuals.
Yeah, visuals,
Yeah.
filming, videos, pictures, and everything. So I started, you know, with that, and then it wasn't my camera, so I couldn't use it all the time.
Yeah.
So I just had to, you know, let it slide for a little bit. Whenever I had a chance, I pick it up. And then until I got a smartphone, and that's when I started, you know, taking pictures and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
And then eventually it grew up to where when I moved to the States and I found that out here you can take film classes in high school. Because
Yeah.
in Sudan, if you go to high school, you're just learning math, science.
Basic. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't go do a lot of, you know,
You
like,
don't get to be artistic out
No.
there. Nah.
not in high school.
Yeah.
But I started, you know, I found like I think it was called AV Tech in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then I took that one class.
How old were you when you made the transfer over here? Was it in high school?
Yeah, I was sophomore year of high
Sophomore.
school.
Okay, but
So I was like 16, yeah.
okay. Yeah.
And then
Damn, that's a crazy time to like move. Like
Yeah.
not just like, oh, we move into like the couple towns over, but
Oh,
16
yeah.
years old, like that's changing everything.
exactly.
So,
yeah.
like,
I've
yeah.
always been moving a lot. Like not moving like, you know, cities or anything, but moving like from school to school.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, so that kind of got me used to into like, okay, becoming
It
more
was- yeah.
social and, you know, getting used to spaces like spots fast.
Yeah.
So when I first came to Atlanta, that's where I had most of my culture shocks,
Yeah.
you know. So and then I don't know if I picked computer science class
Yeah.
because that's what I thought I was trying to do. And then they were like, all right, I checked out my schedule for the first week, and then I see on Friday that I have AV Tech. I was like, what the hell is AV Tech, man?
Yeah.
Then I was like, I'm gonna check it out. And then at first, because they give you like until the first week to switch classes. So I checked it out, and then
This is your high school?
yeah,
So your high school let you choose classes like that and switch them out and stuff like that?
that's in Atlanta. Yeah,
Okay, cool. Okay,
Right here.
bet. And like is it just like an hour class a day and like you have other classes that day too?
yeah,
Okay, bet. Okay,
yeah.
I feel you.
But
Okay,
it's
so
like
an elective.
It's not like every day though. Yeah.
Okay, bet. Okay,
just like
I'm
one-
on the same page. Bet.
Mm-hmm.
So AV Tech, you get there.
Yeah. So then I was like, all right, let me see what that is. I was like, what the hell's AV Tech? I saw that AV a lot on like the, you know, TVs, the colored ones, and
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess maybe it's something related to that. But then I was like, all right, let me check it out. And then when I checked it out, my dad was on top of me. He was like, yo, make sure you switch that because it's probably an accident. Switch it back to computer science.
Yeah.
And then when I went there for the first day, and I was like, they started handing out cameras and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we're going to be working with cameras, filming stuff and editing. And I was like, I think it's a sign from God to just, you know, pursue this because I didn't pick that class, but I got put into it. And now I was like, oh, I really fuck with that.
And was you still doing the family videos and stuff like that?
Oh,
When
no.
you got a chance?
Nah.
No,
that's
not at that point. You kinda
yeah, I
stopped for a
grew
little
up.
bit?
Yeah, I grew up from that point.
Okay.
And then I was just mainly doing like, you know, with my phone, taking videos.
Oh yeah, this
and-
was after you got a smartphone and stuff
Yep.
like that. Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. And like, were you doing like just like taking pictures of people or doing like family events, or were you actually like doing other stuff like with people like?
No, it's just taking. I like you know, environment stuff. So I was doing a lot of landscapes.
Okay, bet.
So
bet,
yeah,
bet.
I was just
Wherever
with
you
my
went, just a
phone.
Nice photo.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
like all of those like editing apps, and I'm gonna admit something. There's some apps that I cracked. Yeah, 'cause they
You
were
gotta do what you gotta
expensive.
do. You
Yeah,
gotta do what you gotta
I was a
do.
kid. You know, in Africa, you can't really buy it out there.
Yeah,
'cause-
chef don't judge. Chef don't
Yeah.
judge.
So, and then after that, then I was like, I got introduced to the real stuff, and that's when I was like, oh, editing softwares that I dreamed of
Like
learning
it's more
how.
like it's bigger.
Yeah.
Like it's not
And
just
then an actual DSLR camera, and then
Oh, bro, the first time I touched a DSLR camera, bro,
Yeah.
that shit, like that was a culture shock, bro.
Mhm.
Because like you get used to taking everything, and then like you can see how you can zoom in, you can edit the focus, like
Yeah.
that. It's a game changer for
Mhm.
sure.
yeah, and then after using that, I was like, oh, DSLR cameras. I remember my first DSLR camera was my cousin's. That's the first one I touched.
You remember what brand? Like Sony?
It was
or
Nikon.
Nikon.
Yeah.
Nikon's
It's a Nikon D8, D90, D70, D60, something like that. It was
Oh,
very
yeah.
old though,
Mhm.
but it was good. And and then when I came out here, I was like, all right, let me check it out. Let me stick around for the next week, see what's up.
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't even tell my dad that I'm gonna switch. I told him like, oh yeah, I'll
Oh,
switch.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll switch. And then after that, I was like, that second week, I just came in and I was like, I think that's what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like you knew, like right
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
And then it just went up from there.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're doing camera work. So like, I know you do music too. So you play? Is it just piano, or do you also play anything else?
I'll say piano. I'll
Just
say
piano.
keyboard. Yeah.
You feel most
Mm,
comfortable on piano or keyboard?
I mean, I can play a couple chords on the guitar. That's it.
Yeah, but like
But
you can translate to like other like if you were trying to play something on the guitar, you could kind of play it a little bit, but it's not like you wouldn't go in front of people and just start jamming.
yeah, I'm gonna have to use Google on that one
I
to
bet. Yeah, get
learn
the-
how
get
to
the notes.
get the chords and notes and stuff like that. But
But keyboard you're comfortable on.
yeah,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
Did
not
you have a
even-
keyboard at home like growing up, or like where did you first like touch the keys?
It started when I was 9.
9?
Yeah, my uncle was living. He still lives in Seattle, so he was in Seattle.
Oh shit! Like
Yeah.
Washington?
Yeah,
Okay,
so he came in one day for
Hey.
a vacation.
home. Let's go. Rep the Hogs. Let's go, baby.
But he came in one night. I mean, not one night, like for a vacation for like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he brought a keyboard with him. And remember when I told you I was doing the
Yeah, home
video
videos, yeah.
for parties and stuff?
Yeah.
I was mainly focused on the keyboard player.
Okay. Yeah.
I always just had to get him in shots.
Yeah.
So when he grabbed that, I was like, oh, I guess, can I play with it? And then he was like, yeah. And then I started, and then he taught me one of the first. I feel like everybody who's learning keyboard in Sudan plays one song.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I started with.
What song is that?
It's called Azzafi Hawak. It's a Sudanese song. It's about Sudan. It was made back in the day, and then that's like it's very easy. C major, everybody can play it.
Yeah.
And then he taught me how to play that one. And then after that, I was like, all right, next day I'm gonna wake up early so I can play the keyboard.
Yeah. Get my time in.
Yeah, and then I started a little bit, and then he left and he took the keyboard,
Yeah, bro. And, you
and I was like,
crushed.
oh, what the hell? What am I gonna do now? And then after that, when I was 10, he left. He went to a different state in Sudan.
Okay.
He took the keyboard from. That's the state that my dad is from originally.
So in Sudan, it is like separated by states.
Yeah,
Like
We have,
how many
like,
states you got?
17.
17. Okay. Bet.
Mhm. So he went to Al Ubayd, which is where my dad is from, and then he took the keyboard. Like that's where he's from too. Like
Yeah.
my whole that side of the family.
Yeah.
And he took the keyboard with him, and then he went back to the States, and I started begging him to bring in the keyboard if I can play with it. And then I told him, I even convinced him, I was like, yeah, if you bring it, and then if you come visit, it's gonna be already in our house, so you can play on it too. So, and then
I'll watch it for you. I'll keep
Yeah,
it safe. Yeah,
yeah.
clean it for you.
and then my dad drove out there and brought it, and he didn't even tell me that he's gonna bring it. Like I didn't get a yes that you can have it. And then I remember I was chilling with my I was staying at my grandma's for the weekend, and then he came by and he was like, come to the car. And I looked in the back seat and I see the keyboard. And I was like, can we go home today?
Yeah, let's go. Like right now.
Yeah, he was like, no, tomorrow. And then I was like, oh, okay.
In shambles.
Yeah, and
Just
then
sitting there.
I was waiting the next. I usually love to stay at my grandma's house.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
yeah.
and then that time I was like, oh, now I want to go back home.
Yeah, he was
actually.
already like your fingers were like tingling.
Yeah. And then I was a kid. And then he was like, all right, tomorrow you come back home and then you can practice on it. I was like, cool. And then the next day,
start going crazy.
I was waiting for him all day and he came in nighttime. And I was like, all right, let's go. We're
Yeah.
out right now. And then we left. We went back home and I was like, all right, I didn't even know how to plug it in, how to turn it on. So I was like, yeah, how to do that? Do it for me. He was like, nah, tomorrow morning. I was like, oh.
But you're killing
I
me.
couldn't sleep that night, bro. I still remember that night. And then that next morning, I woke him up early, and I was like, "Yep, you gotta plug it in for me so I can start." And then I just that's where it started.
That's when it started.
I just trained my ears, and
Yeah, did you start with scales and all that, and no, you just songs?
I was just whatever it sounds. I was just pressing keys. For the longest time, I was just I learned how to be slick with it, so people think that I'm playing actual songs that they didn't know.
But you know what sounds come next when you're trying to if you need something to go higher, you're like.
At first, nah. I was just playing, and then I've seen how they move with their fingers, and then I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna do the same. But I didn't know if which scale I'm at or whatever I'm playing, know what I'm playing.
No, yeah.
So I was like, all right, I just started.
I sound good at piano to people who don't know how to play piano.
Yeah.
Like like you said, you can move your fingers and play with certain keys. You're like.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, "Wow, you can play piano." I'm like,
and then my cousins were hyped about oh, you can play this, and then I was like, oh shit, all right, I guess.
Gassed you up,
Yeah.
keep going.
And then my grandpa had a keyboard, a smaller one, and whenever it doesn't matter where I'm at. If I'm at my house, I can play the keyboard. If I'm at my grandma's house, my grandpa has one, like a small one. I think he bought it at like a stoplight.
Were you doing this? Damn, you bought it at a stoplight. That's kind of clutch.
Yeah. He just he was driving by and he's just like, oh, it's a keyboard, and then it was cheap, and then he brought it. Just learning.
That's sick. The drive-by keyboardist. Shout out to that guy. He whoever was selling those keyboards because of where you are today.
Yeah, I mean that's a big deal.
Yeah, no, for real.
Because at some point one night my uncle came back to Sudan, and he was playing on it, and I don't know, just the keyboard just gave up that night. The power
his keyboard or
that's his keyboard, okay, the one that was our house.
Yeah.
And he helped me out with putting Sudanese beats and sounds in it. Like programming it. And then I was like, oh, and then next morning he was like,
MIDI or do you remember?
No, it's a Casio keyboard. I think it's a Casio WK3500.
Okay, so were you just programming drum loops into it? What do you mean by?
So there's some called styles. So a style is a beat that is it depends. Sometimes it's a 4 bar, it's an 8 bar.
Yeah.
And then it has chords, bass, different percussions and drums, everything. A full band. Yeah. And then you control it with your left hand.
Okay,
to match whatever you're playing, to match the keys. And he was just kind
of building these Sudanese songs together.
Yeah.
So you could have them on file.
So I can have him on there and then play whatever song I wanted. And then the next morning he always comes and shows me oh, I made this beat last night, and then he was like, all right, and then I hit play, and then he started with the chords and he can play. Okay. And then I learned a lot from him. Yeah,
does he do his own artist stuff, or does he just kind of
it's just a hobby.
Hobby?
Yeah,
okay.
He just plays whenever my mom sings. Mm-hmm. So whenever there's I don't know, somebody's getting married in the family, we just be gathered, and then if he's there, have the keyboard, and then my mom sing and he plays.
So was that was that the main music inspiration as a childhood, or were you kind of surrounded by music in the household? Because you said your mom sings.
Yeah, my mom and both my uncles sings.
Okay.
On my mom's side, and I play a Sudanese percussion, which we got the name we copied the name bongos off the real bongos because it's kind of like it, but we have an extra third head.
Okay.
And he played that, and he played doumbeks, so. He was mostly a percussionist. So I learned he taught me how to do that because he had one. And I was little, and then I was so little that I can't even hold it. It's big.
Yeah.
So you know how you hold it between your legs? And then, I couldn't do that. So I just put it on the table and banged on it for a long time. Yeah. So
that's where you got the rhythm at. So you was getting the piano for the melodics, and then you start getting the rhythm into it.
Yeah. And then my grandpa played the oud, and he sang with it a little bit.
Okay, bet,
Yeah.
bet. So, and like, was it mainly like live music that like you were surrounded by, or did you guys have like records in the home too, or like
I mean, we had a lot of records. We had a lot of like cassette tapes.
cassettes? Okay, bet.
Yeah, so we had a lot of them from different Sudanese.
Yeah, mainly Sudanese like music
Yeah.
growing up.
Mainly,
Yeah.
but we listened to a lot of Bob Marley, a lot of Michael
Okay.
Jackson.
Okay, yeah,
The
yeah,
day-
those are worldwide.
Yeah.
Like you can't get
Mhm.
away from those in any country.
Yeah, but and then I remember with the cassette tapes, I was a kid and I fell in love with this artist, a Sudanese artist, and he passed away way back. And when I was a kid, I couldn't even read,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad had one of his cassette tapes in the car. He hides that cassette tapes because he got sick of it. Because every time we get in the car, it's like, nah, we gotta play that.
Do you remember the artist name?
Yes, it's Muhammad Ahmad Awad.
Okay, bet. And like,
Yeah. It's mostly traditional Sudanese music.
and like, is traditional? Is it mainly like drums mixed with like different like just Sudanese instruments, or like how? What is the
It's
like? Is it
just-
everywhere?
It's just percussions.
Just percussions,
Yeah,
or like,
like,
shakers and like
not even shakers. It's just
drums,
it's just the bongos and one other drum called tar.
and then like
which is-
singing over top too.
Yeah, there's background vocals, like backing vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a choir-ish
Okay.
or like a chorus behind that sings mostly in the choruses,
yeah.
and the artist is taking the lead usually. And he had a very beautiful voice that he didn't even need instruments.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's dope. Like it's always like I love like producers and stuff like that have like great production and stuff like
Mhm.
that. But like when you have like someone who can do it without,
Yeah.
and then they still have those elements in there, like makes it like
Mm-hmm.
perfect match.
Yeah. So basically, just the percussions to stay on tempo,
Mm-hmm.
and then to support his voice. The way I say is like, I mean, I don't. You just gonna have to hear.
Yeah, no, you got to put me on for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hell yeah.
So you mentioned audio engineering too.
Mhm.
Like what was your first? We'll get more into your schooling and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
like, what was your first like music engineering stuff? Like, were you like, would you say programming like the stuff in the keyboard, or like were you doing anything else before you went to school for audio?
Oh. It probably started when I started making beats.
Beats, yeah.
But even though I wasn't like mixing stuff, I was just like volume.
No, yeah,
stuff,
no,
mostly.
making beats or like making
Yeah.
music or anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
So,
like
like,
a
making
production. I was
beats.
just mostly, I was not mixing. I didn't know what a compressor is. I mean, I
Yeah.
used the EQ. I knew how to use that. And reverbs,
Yeah.
delays.
So
Stuff like
did
that.
you start with DAW or like how
I
did you?
FL Studio.
FL
Still
Studio.
rolling.
You
Yes,
still
sir.
you still running FL
Yep.
Studio? Okay, I was gonna
Mhm.
ask later, like what's your
Mhm.
go-to? So that's your
Yeah.
make beats, mixing everything, or just making beats?
Making beats and mixing the beat is in FL Studio.
Okay, bet.
Vocals, Pro Tools.
Pro Tools. Okay,
Mhm.
bet. Yeah, I'm a Pro Teasy guy myself for
Nice.
sure. So first engineering experience. So let's get into it. We both went to the Conservatory of Recording Arts and
Hell yeah.
Sciences. Shout out to Crass, you know, helped us. I would say helped me become who I am a little bit.
Mhm.
Not only in like a social aspect, but seeing what I can actually do out here.
Yeah.
Because for me, growing up, and I grew up in a very small town. Like, but I lived in a couple places. Everywhere where I lived was very small town, and when you grow up in a small town, it's very small-minded,
Mhm.
and not even everyone's fault. But like a lot of times, you don't know what tools are out there.
Yeah.
And so when I like got to the conservatory, like I knew about boards. Like I've seen Dr. Dre on the
Oh, yeah,
boards and shit
definitely.
like that. So like I knew like kind of what it was. But like when you get there, like you spend those late hours in the studio, you
Mhm.
connect with other engineers, artists, and stuff like that. So what was your experience like over there? Like stepping on first day when you first got there.
First day,
First day.
like internship. I mean, orientation.
orientation, yeah.
Orientation. Oh, because I didn't see much in orientation, except for the live sound room, and I was like, whoa, because I went in for a tour, and now we actually get to sit in there and just like take a detailed look and everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wow, there's
Because
a
when
lot
you're
of-
rushing on the tour, it's
Yeah.
like you're looking around. You're
yeah,
like,
you can't even pick. I was like, oh, okay, we got this here, we got this here.
Yeah.
The good thing about me is like I knew about live sound a little bit because I started watching back in Sudan like the sound guys come in for parties because my grandpa
Yeah.
used to throw parties all the time.
Okay.
Like we throw parties every New Year's Eve.
And like big family gatherings.
It's not even family and friends,
just
and
like-
we have
just
like
like
probably
close.
at least 200 people in there. Yeah,
Just family and friends, 200 people.
yeah.
God damn, y'all stay busy out there. y'all stay busy out
Yeah,
there.
bro, and then all of that is in his backyard. He has a big house,
Okay, bet.
and then we just have parties until like 4 a.m., 5, and then I usually always whenever there's a party, I just come and watch the sound guy prepare,
Yeah.
and it just
Are
fell
you guys
in
just
love.
like playing like music off the cassettes, or you guys like DJing?
No, we
like-
have a keyboard player and a singer artist in
Okay,
Sudan.
bet.
That's why I was like, there's the styles we do
Mhm.
on the keyboard we program, because in Sudan, most of the parties we don't have like a full band, like a drummer.
Yeah.
That's not us. That's more like concerts and big weddings.
Okay.
But if it's like a party at the house or like a small venue,
Keyboard.
it's usually just a keyboard player who has the styles, which is kind of like a whole band.
Okay, bet.
And then there's an artist live. I don't think we don't do a lot of DJ stuff.
I would say, was it like
So-
no turntables and shit like that out there?
Nah, I mean now there is a lot of them
Yeah.
out there now, and it's usually the beginning of the wedding and the end of the wedding
Yeah.
where there's a DJ. But the main course is usually an artist singing live or with the keyboard player. Sometimes 2, 3.
Are they usually all family members, or is it usually?
No, usually people we hire.
Okay,
yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so
Mhm.
you guys, all chill out together. It's not one
Yeah.
person just running stuff.
Yeah.
So orientation
Mm-hmm.
got there, and
Orient-
it's like, damn, like I'm really here. You're soaking it in.
Yeah, and then you get to also meet other people that like-minded people that
Yeah.
people who love this shit too.
And was that like nerve wracking for you, or was that like, let's go, like I'm ready to meet everyone?
I would say the first day was kind of a little bit nervous, but
Yeah.
I was more excited than nervous.
For sure. No, I feel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's weird being in a room of nobody you know.
Yeah, I mean, I told you like I was moving a lot, so
Yeah.
that by itself wasn't
New to schools and stuff like
yeah,
that. Yeah. I
new
feel
to
you.
school. Okay, but for me the nervous part is like I'm going into something for 9 months
Yeah.
of just studying every day. I'm gonna be here every day for 9 months.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, am I really gonna? That's the nervous part, is am I really gonna make it at the end?
Because it was after you also did film school, correct?
I didn't finish.
You didn't finish,
Yeah, I was at
okay,
ASU for 2 years.
So oh yeah,
And-
that's right. Because you went from what year did you move from ATL? Sorry to be jumping around,
Oh yeah,
but
all
you
good.
moved from ATL over to AZ, right?
I moved from Sudan to Atlanta in 2017,
Okay.
June 25th,
Bet.
and then December 28th, 2017. That's when I moved from Atlanta to Arizona.
Oh, so that was like the same year then.
Yeah, I
Okay,
only stayed in
okay.
Atlanta for 6 months.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then I came to Arizona, and now I went to finish high school out there, and I got accepted at ASU for film, and that's what I thought. it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be.
because you was behind cameras,
Yeah,
AV tech,
yeah,
all
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I guess we're doing that. And then I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if I had like a more fast paced program, I would have been still doing film.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't even been like we didn't even have met before. If I was
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I had like more like a short term.
If it was like
it was like actual.
if it
film
was
school.
like crass for like film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like LA Film School, where you just
Yeah.
go in and do film
No,
stuff.
absolutely.
But it's more like the first 2 years was more like studying a lot of stuff, like essays and reading and studying about like the first film,
Like the
silent
art
films.
of making
Yeah,
films and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and like looking at like scripts and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Or,
yeah, like writing scripts and we get to shoot a little bit, like a couple films,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like nothing crazy,
Yeah.
like a short films.
You felt like you could be doing more.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I think at that time I loved music more. And
Were you steady making beats at this time when you were
oh,
in the film
yeah,
school?
yeah.
And were you working with other artists at the same time, or you were just kind of in the layer, just making beats?
Just making beats and
Okay.
never see daylight.
Never
you
see
know?
daylight. Will they see daylight eventually, or they all scrap?
I got better. I'm gonna just put it that way. I got way better.
Do you ever go
But-
back and listen to them?
Yeah,
Yeah, just to
Yeah, my
see the
drive.
progress.
every my drive. Yeah, every time.
Yeah.
You know. And I even like I couldn't even come up with names. I just had like beat 1, beat 12.
Oh,
beat
bro,
17.
you don't want to go through my beat names. My beat names are ridiculous, bro.
So yeah, and then I was just my friends went to Crass before me,
Hmm.
and they graduated before.
Like more than one friend?
2 of them, and they're
Okay,
siblings. Yeah,
Oh, siblings. Okay,
Yeah.
but
So-
you got how many siblings you got?
me 3.
Okay. I was expecting like,
No, I have 2 siblings. So that's 3 of us.
3. Okay,
Yeah, I'm the
bet.
oldest. But 2 friends, and they're both like brother and sister, both siblings. They went when the brother Muhammad went in first, and then Asma went in after,
Yeah.
and they just noticed like how like I'm making beats anywhere. Like whenever
So,
there's
hey,
some
you
that
might
make
like this.
sounds, I just go crazy, and they're like, "You're crazy about this already.
Yeah.
So why don't you just consider it?"
Hmm.
And then
Were you kind of like, or were you kind of like, no, I'm doing film?
I would say I was like, maybe I'll think about it. And then that second year, I was so done with school. That last semester, I fucked up so bad to the point where I was like, didn't want to go to school.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do
Was it
homework.
like tests, or like did you like actually do something like
No, it's just you know how when you're like not motivated to do something.
You just weren't like.
I was like, yeah, I was sick of it. I was like, nah, I'm not going. I started like not caring about
Yeah.
going to school and doing assignments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even though, like, I started the year very good, and then it eventually just like, why am I doing
Yeah.
this?
Everyone.
Because
starts the year good.
my classes didn't have anything to do with film.
Yeah.
And I think I only had one class to do that did some about film, and I had like a theater class, acting.
Mhm.
I'm not trying to be an actor, but I get where it comes from.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you get to
you
you get
gotta
to
see both
experience.
sides,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But actually that class was fun. But then that year I did so bad to the point where the school was like, you're gonna be suspended for a year.
Oh yeah, with that
From
academic
school.
probation
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
And then I was like, okay,
What's next?
what's exactly? And I
Yeah.
was like, all right, let me just go for that 1 year and see how would I do without film school.
Okay.
Just by myself. I did not go nowhere. And when that year ended, the reality check hits.
Yeah, like
I was
you was like,
what the
I'm
hell am
gonna
I
do this,
gonna
I'm
do?
gonna do this.
And then
Yeah.
that's
Boom.
not even that. And then right before that year started, I contacted Crass.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right. I was like, all right, I think I'm gonna drop out. But I didn't tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, you know what? I started film. I'm gonna go through it. If I need to go to Crass or audio engineering school, I'll do it after.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that year ended, reality checks hits when I applied back for ASU and they didn't accept me.
Damn. Okay.
And then I was
yeah.
like, what am I gonna do with the rest of my life?
No, that's fucking. That's a
that-
message.
yeah. And then
Yeah.
I still remember it was August. I think it was July 19th, like one of the teens days, you
Yeah.
know. And then I was like, what am I gonna do, man? Like I think that's.
No, I feel you. I
Yeah.
had the same reality check.
And
yeah,
then I literally had a panic attack that day.
Mhm.
And then I was like, all right, I guess me sitting out here thinking of just thinking about what I could have done, it's not gonna help me.
Absolutely.
Why don't I just start with Crass?
They take a step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least just finish that and then see what's gonna do
Yeah.
after that. And then I remember I applied for my friend who graduated from Crash. She started working with Encore.
Okay.
And she sent me. They're like, oh, we have a job fair or interviews, open house or whatever. And I applied. They got me in. I got accepted, and that just gave me a little bit of confidence boost.
Yeah.
And then I also applied for Crash, and I came in for the tour, and they did an interview with me, and then they accepted me. It was all in 1 week.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
that's
and
some
I
signs.
still remember.
Yeah,
I still remember.
getting the rejection. Like obviously that hurts.
I still
and then
remember.
reality check everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that all lined up like
Mhm.
crazy.
I still remember. I got accepted at Encore August 6th, 2023.
Damn, you good with dates, bro?
I mean, there's some little stuff that I always keep in mind. But I think 2 days after that, I got accepted at Kraus.
Bet.
And
So yeah, you get there, meet all these people.
hmm
Was there anyone that you was clicking with right away, or was it just kind of like, all right, there's some cool people out there, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't have. I'm more like a people's person. I don't think you'll ever find someone that's not on good grounds with me.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no. That's
But,
like one thing I love about
yeah,
you for sure. Like
and
you got good energy.
I don't know, but it's like I just always be like, all right, you're a person, and you're a human being, and I'm a human being.
Yeah,
We all go through a lot of stuff. If you act up, there's some like you're not doing that. I don't want to sound very like taking everything like everything is like white and there's no black. There's actually
there's
people.
layers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's actually because you gotta know how people come at you. Some people take advantage of you, and then you gotta see that.
no, especially in
always-
both the industries you're in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then so I was been good with filtering how that goes, and then I might to me I don't hold like grudges with people.
yeah.
If you fuck with me, I'll just
Let it
avoid
be,
you.
and then you move on.
I'll just avoid you now. Like I'm not gonna work with you like that, but I'm not gonna be out there be like, nah, I'm not cool
No,
with
I feel
him.
that I'm very much
not-
the same way. Yeah,
I'll just keep it to myself. Nobody gotta know about it.
exactly.
know?
Yeah, exactly. You ain't gotta
Mhm.
go get messy.
Yeah.
I feel
So
you, yeah.
when I started Crest, I was like, all right, there's some cool people. We all do the same stuff. Everybody's different, doing
But
different
you're
type
still
of
doing
music.
you.
Yeah, but I'm still
Yeah.
doing myself.
Yeah,
And I still like to have that that privacy. So I was like, all right, I'm a just whenever I can, I'm gonna go and hang out.
yeah, bet, yeah.
And then because we have a saying in Sudan, in Arabic it says "كتر تطلب بتمسخ خلق الله," which means if you show up too much, people gonna get sick of you.
Ooh,
Yeah. So
that's
if
cold.
if you're being too much, people gonna get sick of you. So
No,
you just don't wanna, because whenever you have too much of something, you'll be like, nah, I don't want it no more.
yeah.
So you always gotta keep that.
That's
you know,
that's
so-
not, that's not only great in life. That's great to know as like an artist too,
Yeah.
because like I feel like that's a lot of like art today where it's like it's spam because everyone
Yeah.
thinks we need the information quick.
Mm.
But when you take a step back,
Yeah.
especially when you're giving your presence and stuff like that,
Mhm.
like you gotta know when, because if you give yourself too much, like you said, like
Yeah.
not only people are going to stick to you, they're going to expect you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People gonna know like what's
What's
new.
new?
Yeah.
Yeah. No
It's
mystery.
gonna be the same. No mystery.
Yeah.
Mystery is if you can keep yourself mysterious, a lot of people can be interested.
No, absolutely. It's one of the I think laws of power. It's like
Mhm.
if you can keep a veil of mystery, like
Yeah.
don't be a weirdo hiding in the shadows. But
Mhm.
like everyone doesn't need to know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's kind of
but-
just the mindset you went into Crass with, where it's like
Yeah.
I'm ready to connect with these people, but like I got my mission, and I'm like
Mhm.
I'll take everyone for as they are,
Yeah.
and just like let it be.
Mm-hmm.
So you
And-
start later clicking with more people and building bonds, or
Oh,
you
yeah.
still kind of in the same.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like mostly AM classes, because that's where I
Where
was an
you-
AM
yeah,
student.
yeah.
Yeah. So mostly the people from the AM, that's the people I click, because I've been with them every day.
Yeah,
I still
no, I
fuck.
feel you. They like family to me for sure.
Yeah.
I feel you.
And then I still fuck with the people from PM, because
Yeah.
we're still in the same cycle.
Absolutely.
We started together. We got to know each other the first day. And even though I don't remember meeting a lot of people that first day, but
Oh, bro, like
but-
I had to ask so many people their names again. I felt
Yeah.
so bad.
no, but I feel it's all of us are like that. We're all in the same boat, But then if like we also start like clicking, chopping it up every now and then. Whenever we meet up, whenever we clash, like we
Yeah.
staying a little bit after and they're coming in, like yo, what's up? How's it going? How's this cert going?
Yeah.
How's this test? Blah blah blah. Tech group chats,
Similar
everything.
struggles, all that.
Yeah,
kinda,
we all coming after hours studying and
Mhm.
stuff like that. Studio times, we all connected. But I feel like more connected to the AM class because that's to spend more times.
No,
We
absolutely.
study together, we go to class
I
together.
was the
Yeah,
exact same way. AM. Yeah.
Studio times together because we always in the same class. We talk about it, be like, oh, I got a studio session today. Let's pull
Yeah.
up.
And so was like studio sessions your main focus while you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I wouldn't only. It's gonna be a wild take, but I didn't like working on boards a lot because I feel like it was too
Okay,
much.
yeah, that was one of my questions. So in the box is the
Yeah, for me it's in the box
all the way. Like you don't like touching no faders, nothing, or do you even
No.
like run into the console at all?
I run into the console when summing
Yeah. So you just sub
So
the
yeah.
drums, the vocals, everything,
the
into
guitar,
separate
yeah,
channels.
instruments, and then put them in like certain channels, and then off of that bust all of them into one channel and use that as my master and print that into FL Studio.
Okay, yeah, FL.
So yeah, not FL, not Pro Tools. My bad.
So
yeah.
you print in Pro Tools when you're
Yeah.
doing like your final mixes and masters. Shit like that.
I just run it through the board.
Just run
just
to the board,
sum
just
it
get that the warmth.
Yeah, a little bit.
That,
Yeah, but then I record through the box through the board because that's the cleanest route. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be in the studio and record on my interface, on my
Bro,
laptop.
bro,
But
thank you for saying that, bro. I don't know why it shouldn't
Yeah.
get me heated, but that shit gets me so heated.
Yeah, I use my interface whenever I'm making beats in
Yeah, that's
in
cool.
the
Yeah,
studio.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
you.
whenever I'm because FL Studio is not on campus computers. I mean, crash, man.
Yeah, you
FL
catch
Studio
up,
gotta
catch
be in
up.
there,
Get on
man.
that FL wave.
Yeah, but I was doing like interface TRS to TT
Yeah.
and coming in to the patch bay directly to the externals. I didn't even run it through the channel.
Okay, bet.
So
Favorite,
and then
favorite
that's-
console there?
favorite console API.
API, like especially if you do like the warmth of a board, the API has
Mhm.
like, some really good like characteristics
Yeah.
in it for sure.
I love the API. Even like one of the songs that I produced and recorded at Crass was My Body. It's not released yet,
Yeah.
but it was recorded in the Studio C live room. Like I literally
bet.
just went in with my audio interface and I think I checked out the WA251,
Yeah.
plugged it into my interface, recorded. I had the HS5s and I brought from home, put them on the desk.
Okay.
Because I asked at Crass, I was like, can I borrow monitors from like the other rooms? They're like, no. I was like, I guess I'll bring my own.
Yeah.
Then I brought them in because there was no
So
sessions.
you were sitting inside the booth recording this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean the live room, not the ISO booth.
Okay, but
So-
you brought all your gear into the live room.
Yeah,
recorded
that's
it.
because I couldn't find that day any studio available. So I was like,
Oh, Studio C live. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm catching up with you because you can book the live room
Yep.
separately. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
so yeah, and then I just recorded that whole song in there. And
yeah.
to me that
Artist
was
name?
Talia.
Talia. Okay.
Yeah.
Bet.
So
You got any like release dates coming up, or you still kind of working?
we're still working on that. Yeah,
Bet.
it was very fun. I feel like because it was just straight up audio interface, microphone, headphones. You're good.
Hell yeah.
So that's what I enjoyed. The quick process. Like I don't want to just. It's fun running through the board,
Yeah.
but it was just like taking
you only
so
do
much.
it. Yeah. You only do it for the warmth. You want to get straight to the like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
straight to work.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah. So that's why, because I remember my fifth cycle project. It took me like 2 hours to get signal going, like everything into, and I had stems and everything into the box. I was like, why am I doing that? And then I
Yeah.
started doing it over 2 tracks and just recording because I mix 2 tracks in FL Studio. My fifth cycle project is all of it is mixed in Pro Tools.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But,
That's good that you got that experience though, using
Mhm.
something different over
Yeah.
there.
And then I was like, cause Pro Tools doesn't have AF, and then it exports audio into stereo. So if I'm using a bass line, it comes out as stereo.
You can't. I think you can do mono. I think as well.
I've tried.
Whenever
Whenever you import it in there, it just shows me like it's stereo.
Yeah, we'll check that out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
But then I was like, why? I can just mix in FL Studio my beats
Yeah,
and then get it ready in 2 tracks and just record mix vocals in Pro Tools.
yeah. And then
That's what I've-
just pass
yeah.
the files over.
Yeah. And
So,
then and then if I want to do that final mix, I just route everything, bust everything in FL Studio, with those like wires in the bottom, and then just export those, and then come in, like, take those like, let's say sometimes it's mostly 4 because drums.
oh, your sums.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even that. Like from Pro Tools, from FL Studio, I get drums, bass, and instruments.
Okay.
if I have a lot of instruments going, I usually separate them with like rhythmic and like melodic stuff separate, and then I just have them on like 4 buses.
No, I like that how
or
it's
3.
not just like you just bouncing the 2-track and doing the vocal over it, so you have control.
Yeah,
of the dynamics
and then
everything.
I just send them out through in Pro Tools, send them out through one like the channels, sum it up, print it back in Pro Tools with the vocals.
And then after you get the vocals, you go back to FL.
No,
Right,
it.
like all your end stuff happens in Pro Tools.
Yeah,
Okay, bet.
I never go back to FL after the beat done. I never go back to FL
bet.
Studio.
So
unless
for-
I want to modify the beat or anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for FL or even Pro Tools, do you have any go-to plugins or keyboard packages, whatnot? You got in your arsenal. You want to shout out?
FL Studio, I'll say Flex.
Flex?
Flex is my favorite plugin because I love the guitar sound. And I cannot play the guitar. I'm not patient to just sit in because I didn't pick it up as a kid.
No, I feel you. I've picked up the guitar
Yeah.
like 12 times. Like,
Yeah,
my
and-
dad still asks me, he's like, "You play that guitar I bought you?" I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I try. I'm not very good.
I bought mine during the pandemic, and I thought I was gonna play and learn throughout the pandemic,
Yeah.
but I didn't.
Are you still
didn't.
trying to get a lute too as well? Because I know you was talking about that a while ago.
But
Or
and
not
then,
lute, but like it's similar to
like
it.
a oud, yeah.
Yeah. So it's an ode.
Yeah.
Okay, bet.
And then that it's probably gonna just sit collect dust, just
It's
like
gonna
the
look
guitar.
pretty in the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Studio vibes.
Yeah, but it's even because it's harder because there's no frets, and it's like 11 strings probably or something like that. So it's, I mean they're like 5 of them are summed together. They like as one string. You know how like the 12-string guitar goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, am I gonna pick it up and play? You know, because there is always patches for oud, like very nice ones.
Yeah.
The same is very nice. Get like
So flex is the one that you keep.
Flex.
You keep.
Oh yeah, I think if not in every session, it's probably in every like majority of my beats.
Yeah.
There's definitely a flex in there.
But what else? What else you got?
Oh, I don't have a lot of sound plugins because I use my keyboard to do that. I
Okay,
usually like
what
how
keyboard you got there?
I have a Korg Chrome.
Okay, but of course,
Yeah.
classic. You ain't
Korg
gotta say
Chrome.
nothing more.
I got a good deal on it. Found it for like $150.
That's a great deal. Yeah.
$100, and I fixed it for $50. I bought like
oh, shit,
parts,
okay, yeah.
took it apart, and then changed the
Was this before or after Crash?
during crash.
Oh, during Crash. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the perfect time to pick this up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was wrong with it?
The B key was missing on one of the lower octaves, and then
Oh, it was just a key missing?
no, but then the screen, because it's a touch screen,
Yeah.
the screen was shattered. But the display is good, but the touch panel was fucked up.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, there's a key missing, like broken, like
Yeah, I
snap,
got
like
you,
somebody was like whoop, and then I was like, all right, I guess I'm gonna take it apart, and then I think I forgot which one came in first. I think the keys came in first, and then the display took so much, and I was so excited to take it apart
Yeah.
that I just took it apart and put in the keys.
I say, did it take it back when you first like was playing with the uncle's keyboard?
Oh no,
And
my uncle.
like the same feeling though when you was like
Oh.
you couldn't use it, you just had the piano sitting right there. Like
I mean, I could use it, but then I was missing that key, and it's on
so it
the,
was still playing and everything.
yeah,
just,
it was still
just
playing, but then
wasn't
like
fully
the screen, yeah, you couldn't pick like certain, like you can do
Sounds and
certain
stuff
stuff
like that.
on the
Okay, bet.
yeah, because the screen is missing.
functional. Yeah.
But you can switch out sounds and switch out whatever. You can still see what's going on.
Dope. So we got
But-
Korg, Flex.
And then Korg, I usually do. There's a way where you can design your own sounds in Korg.
Yeah.
There's like I think it has like 3 oscillators if I'm not tripping, or 2. And then you
No,
can
but they're
always
super like
yeah, you can go
mess
in
with
and
it,
yeah. mess up with everything. And then I usually love to mess with the apartamento or whatever they call it, and or give you that like nice like those Middle Eastern strings, like the Middle Eastern roll in the beginning. It was beautiful.
Bet.
But then yeah, I used a lot of that. Basically flex in that. I'm not very complicated with my sounds.
That's cool. No,
And
that's
then
cool.
and I use a lot of that UAD electric or whatever 88 the
Oh, the
the
88
Rhodes.
keys? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, okay, bet. So shout out UAD,
Mhm.
shout out Korg, and shout
Yep.
out Fruity Loops.
Hell
Or just
yeah.
FL, right?
Image line.
They changed it up. They cleaned it up.
Yep.
So not only are you producing these beats, but you're also working with artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So who like what artists, like you said that you had your Sudanese artists, is that the main type of music you want to make? Because I know you mess with R&B a lot too.
Yeah.
So like who are like the people you started to grow up on that were like your inspirations, your R&Bs or whatever?
My R&Bs, it started with Party Next Door.
Really? Party Next Door?
I mean, I used to listen to a lot of Usher growing up.
Okay, no, Usher's a cool one.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But then I still memorize the song OMG.
Yeah.
And then,
oh my.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I still memorize that from childhood days. I used to listen to that.
I remember the vocal effect. The I'ma let the beat.
Yeah,
bro.
that
I
was
like when I heard that shit like as a kid, I was like, ugh. You couldn't gas me up, mom.
Yeah, and then after that, I was heavy hip hop.
Okay.
Like Eminem, a lot of 50, a lot of Busta Rhymes.
Oh, okay. So you was in the like spitters, like people
Yeah.
who would like
Yeah,
have a flow that
I was
crazy.
like, go hard, a little bit of Ludacris because I love
A Ludacris, like during Luda's like era, like he was untouchable, bro.
I fill her up, balloons.
Mhm. A lot of I used to listen to a lot of T-Pain.
T-Pain cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, boop boop, huh?
Because I was watching mainly when I was a kid. I used to dance a little bit.
Yeah.
Till like up to like 8th grade, 7th grade, I used to dance. So I watched a lot of Step Up.
Oh yeah.
Still Step Up movies, and they had that. That was my plug for music when I was in Sudan, because nobody listens to those a lot back when I was growing up.
Yeah, it was just the drums and the vocals and stuff.
And
like
it was
that,
just mostly just Sudanese music.
Yeah.
So.
And then like the Michaels and Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. And then I was like, all right, I get introduced to like Luda and T-Pain, a lot of
It's a whole new wave. Of
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I started like finding.
Was this out in ATL?
No, that was in Sudan.
This is in Sudan. You
Yeah,
hear
I was
all
a
this.
kid.
Okay,
I was in
yeah.
middle school,
Okay,
kind of.
bet.
Yeah. So, and then I was like, all right, hip hop more.
Mhm.
Came to Atlanta, and until I came to Atlanta, I didn't make beats.
Okay.
So I was just a keyboard player. People, they're like, "Oh, what'd you do for fun or whatever?" I was
No,
like,
Atlanta will
"Nah."
make you into a beat maker for
Yeah.
sure.
And then
There's one
in
place.
class, this dude who sounded just like Future,
Okay.
and
Real monotone.
yeah, he sounded just like Future, but I forgot his name.
Sensational.
Because if I remember his name, I would have
Shout
even
him
hit him
out.
up.
Yeah.
I would have even hit him up because I would love to send him beats.
Yeah.
Because that's the man who got me into making beats.
No,
Because
absolutely.
he was like, we were talking about like, oh, I play the keyboard, and then he was like, yo, you make beats, and I was like, I can. And then I went in and learned how to make beats, and then I sent him a couple beats, and then he was like, all right, cool. He didn't fuck with them. He didn't rap on them or nothing. They were ass.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
all right,
but-
you did it.
Yeah. But he's like, oh, send me more beats. And then whenever
Yeah.
people say send me more beats, that means you're not fucking
working
with
on
you.
it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, I guess. And then I was so excited.
At least
Nobody.
he was like, send me more beats, and it was
Yeah.
like, this shit is trash.
Nah, it wasn't. It
He was
wasn't
like,
this shit. It
never
was like-
make another
yeah.
one.
Even though I wouldn't call. I mean, I was coming in from Sudan, so I didn't know nothing. I was
Yeah.
just a fob, man.
Yeah.
So, and then he was just like there, and I was like, oh shit. Okay, you know how the stereotype in Atlanta, it sounds like Drake is big dude. I think he's like 6'4",
Mhm.
and for me it was like, oh shit. All right, I don't want to get him mad.
Yeah.
And then, but he was very cool. He was very cool with it. He knew where I'm not from out here, so I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And then he was like, all right, just keep on making stuff, And then he kept rapping a little bit in class. I was like, oh shit, okay. And then
Like,
after
he was
that,
rapping or you was rapping?
he was rapping. I never rapped.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, I ain't heard no bars out
No,
you.
no, I never rapped. He was rapping, and then I've met this guy. Not like I've heard some of his songs online, and he's Sudanese rapper. He was staying in Dubai that time. His name is Tahir too.
Oh, okay.
So his name is Tahir Elias El Tahir, and then my name is Tahir Hamid El Tahir,
okay,
or
bet.
Tahir Hamid El Tahir in Arabic. So if you read our full names, you would think that we're cousins. Bass, yeah, literally, because the only difference is our dad's names.
Okay, bet.
But his grandpa is Tahir and my grandpa is Tahir too. So
Okay.
he goes by TA. TA, he was the only like kind of known rapper that I hit up in Sudan, and he responded back.
Okay, bet.
And I sent him the beat, and he was like, "All right, I'll see." And then after that, I was like, he was like, "This is not the style that I'm going with right now, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Keep on making more.
Yeah.
Send me some more stuff." And then I sent him some more beats, and he's like, "Okay, it's getting better.
Yeah.
Try and do this on the beat."
Hell yeah.
It's more like, my shit was always like loops. It's just like the beginning, the ends, no organization, no nothing. It's the same.
Yeah, because like when you start making beats, like you understand like, oh, I need cool sounds, I need drums
Yeah,
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But then as you start making them more, you realize like, oh, this needs to build up to this. This
Yeah.
is the chorus.
And then I didn't know that. And then
Exactly,
he was like, "All right, try do this. Until this day, shout out to TA, man. He helped me a lot with that beginning period. And then when I came out here to Arizona and I started film school, not film school, but I started like, taking film classes in Mountain Point High School. And then I was making like the music for my short films was just made by me. I just beats that I made, and people eventually started asking me for like, "Oh, can we use some of your beats for our films? Because you can only use royalty free stuff."
Yeah.
So, and it's my beat, and I can use it whenever, and nobody can tell me shit. And they were like, "Oh, can we use it?" And I was like, "Yeah," because I was just making it for fun, I wasn't like, till this day I haven't sold no beats, nothing. Yeah. So I was just making it and just leaving it there.
I feel like we share that same kind of like energy where it's like I don't want to pay you for anything. I don't want you to pay me for anything.
Yeah,
like,
let's just work.
Let's just work. Let's get together. Like me and you are both on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Like let's build together.
Yeah,
like absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. Yeah.
So and then it just grew from there to, all right, let me start making better beats and better sounds, and understanding like how stacking like different sounds together.
Harmonies and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just all me playing keyboard and me playing mostly like I only play the keyboard. I only play Sudanese songs. Like if you ask me to play any song that is not Sudanese, I can't.
Like you could try and figure out some sounds.
Yeah, I can try. I can try. If I hear it
in the Sudanese.
Yeah,
range.
if you just put me in like anything, if you give me any Sudanese artist, I can play keyboard behind. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
But if you give me like any other artist, like, ooh, I don't know, never memorized. I listen to these songs, I never memorized them to play them on the keyboard because I can't read music.
Okay, yeah.
So I just
you
play
was talking
by
about
ear.
earlier. It was like mainly about feel and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's just by ear. So I'll listen to stuff, and then whenever you see me listening to one specific Sudanese song for a long time, that means I'm trying to memorize that song. So that's how it be. And then I was like, all right, since I know how to since I know how to play Sudanese music, why don't I use that stuff into the beats that I make?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started making that with hip hop beats, and then I think beginning of this year, I was driving, and I Spotify recommended "Party Next Door." That song was like, what's the name of it? I can't remember the name of the song.
But you was listening to
Savage Anthems.
Okay, bet.
So I was like, all right, and just Spotify just played it randomly, and I heard this song, and I was like, oh shit, and like how it made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember there's something called R&B. I was just too focused on hip hop.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I just try and make an R&B beat?
Like smoother, yeah.
Yeah. And then the first R&B beat that I made, that was for my Fifth Cycle project. After that,
That was your first R&B beat?
Yeah.
Okay, bet. So during class you would mainly hip hop, and then
Yeah.
you started to get like
the first couple months I was making like some Detroit type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like fast, real fast. Hi hats going like
just
like
super
boom,
like
boom, boom.
like
Yeah.
you gotta be up.
Mhm. And then I was like, right before my Fifth Cycle project, I just fell in love with Party Next Door. And I think when I took my second Studio B proficiency, I was like, let me just say and just go into Tempe MIDI Lab because I think it was a Saturday or something like that. So I went in there and then it was the first and last time I played on those synth keyboards that we have out
they
there.
had hella nice keyboards.
So I just went into project staff and I was like, can I get a 2 MIDI cords and 2 MIDI cables and 2 TRS cables? And they're like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Got them. I didn't even use the MIDI because I thought I was gonna run stuff through it.
Yeah.
But I just played it on the actual synth keyboard, and then I think it was I used the Roland ones. I forgot the name of it, but I just used that, and then I played because I told you I was doing that with the keyboard, so I kind of familiar with like a little bit of sound design. So I was doing that, and then I recorded a couple chords and a nice counter melody, and then I took that into FL Studio, looped it, and then I started adding to it like some stuff to carry it a little bit, and then I added like a synth lead, and then it just went from there. And I think it was a little bit too fast too.
Yeah.
It's like 134.
You're still getting your feet.
Yeah, it was 134 BPM, and I didn't know if the girl's gonna be able to sing on it, because at that time I had Shannon and Talia. Shout out Shannon.
Yeah, shout out Shannon for real. Great vocalist.
And then I had them, and I was like, it's the first R&B stuff that I made, and I don't know if it's that too fast. So I started looking up R&B songs on 134 BPM. And I saw a Beyonce song. I forgot the name of the song, but I was like, all right, I guess it works.
It's doable. Yeah, it's doable.
I guess it works. No. And then after that, I just sent him out the beat, and they felt like they loved the beat.
Yeah.
Because it had like a longer intro and a build up, and then when the beat drops, it goes crazy. So after that, I was like, all right, I guess we're going good. And then I think after that, I made like 2 or 3 hip hop beats, and it's been mainly R&B.
R&B since, yeah. Speaking of, you guys send some of those Rob. He's been going crazy.
Yeah.
Saying I need them to hear, boy. So grew up with like Usher, Ludacris, Eminem, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else that like you look up towards like a mentor, like whether it's like personal family or if it's like a director or a photographer or like an artist producer that such?
So me coming from the like a Sudanese background, I know more about Sudanese stuff than out here. I'm still learning every day, but I don't think I can like memorize a director's name, or if I had one. I mean, Spike Lee.
Spike Lee,
yeah,
he's a director for sure.
So yeah, I should
Do the Right Thing. Malcolm
yeah,
X.
I think I wrote a paper about him.
Yeah,
when I was in school, but I just dropped that behind me, like the film stuff.
Yeah.
And I mainly do it for like, trying to pick it up for music videos, and I still do photography.
Yeah.
And then that's why you see all my Instagram posts are so crisp,
Yeah, no, she looks clean. She looks clean. I ain't gonna lie.
But
I be wanting to not like a post because I'm like, damn, my shit don't look this nice. No,
no, it's all good. But in terms of music, I would say Metro Boomin, because I learned.
Yeah,
I learned,
especially going that.
Yeah,
I was only ATL, but that like fast paced trap, boom, boom,
dark
boom,
stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I guess I started watching Metro Boomin stuff, and I feel like he's on the younger side too.
Yeah,
when he started making it. And then I was like, okay, we kind of relate.
Looks more attainable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you see someone like 60 years old, it's like,
he's been doing this his whole life, and it's a lot. Yeah, a lot of experience. He knows a lot, way more than me.
Yeah.
But Metro Boomin is younger. I'm not saying that Metro Boomin.
It's like he's not new, but like,
but he knows his stuff.
It looks attainable.
But it looks attainable.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna listen to a lot of Metro Boomin stuff, and I watched everything.
Yeah, he has his own like videos, the good cook-ups and stuff like that. Yeah,
all of those. Trust me, I've watched all of them. I've looked up and everything, social media and YouTube. I've just looked it up and see how he does that.
Yeah.
And then
I think he's getting back on it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a little break, but I think he's getting back to it.
But and then till this day, I still listen to Metro, and I still love Metro, and I was like, all right,
Metro.
But in terms of inspiration, I would say Metro. I don't think I can think of anything.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Mostly Sudanese songs.
Yeah.
Like old Sudanese.
Yeah, like
songs.
you mentioned like you Sudanese like idols and stuff like that. Like I'm not gonna recognize them, but like anyone that's watching,
Yeah. We have a Sudanese artist, Muhammad Wardi, rest in peace, Allah yarhamu. Muhammad Wardi is like one of the biggest Sudanese artists, and he's one of the biggest African artists. He has an album that recorded back in like the late 90s out here in LA, Sony Studios.
Okay.
And that album till this day, it can compete with a lot of stuff that's coming
You
out.
have to put me on. You have to
Yeah,
sing it through.
the sound was so nice and everything, even though it's like late 90s, but it's still so crisp and it has like that vintage sound, but it's very clear.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff I started, like when I was a kid, I was playing more like, you know, fast music like trends and people listen to on the keyboard. But then when I grew up a little bit, I was just finding out about this old music, and I was like, and then I started, you know, listening to it more. And then eventually, whenever I see a keyboard, I just start playing it.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, all right, I guess I can use some of those techniques that he used because he's also a music teacher.
Okay.
And he also a composer, like not a composer, a conductor.
Is your composer? Conductor is the
Yeah,
stand. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he was the artist, so he was doing that on when they're practicing in rehearsals.
Was he also writing out the music too, though?
I don't know about that
Okay.
one.
Okay. I bet.
But because a lot of Sudanese music is mostly poets that write it,
Okay.
and it's always about like the poets who go like if it's most of our Sudanese songs is about he loving a girl or a girl leaving or breaking. It's always like a breakup songs and love songs
romance
mostly.
and,
Yeah. And so that's why poets go through a lot of stuff and they write about it. And then now artists would read that poet and then be like, all right, that poem, and then be like, oh, that's beautiful. And then he found someone like Muhammad Wardi that can
give it that feeling in the
like
song,
produce it, you know, like actually, you know, like, you know, make it a song instead of just words. And he can sing it and direct the whole band. He has a band of like, you know, violinist. Shout out to Mikhail. He's out here. He played with him back in the day.
Okay.
So he's the guy who's actually helping me out here a lot in, you know, getting included in the Sudanese community out here in LA.
Yeah.
So, but violinists, saxophones, flutes, keyboards, drums, percussions, saxophones. Did I mention saxophones? I don't know. But
Perhaps.
a bunch of instruments. It's a lot of them. It's a whole, not a whole orchestra, but it's a lot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bass
Damn.
and guitars and everything.
The whole band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he can pick up the one thing that I liked about him, and that made me to just like not just become a beat maker, but actually a producer, because he had a year that can pick up if a flute in the middle of this whole band, if that flute is just one key off.
Bro, I was noticing that with we had a orchestra session over at Sound Factory,
Mm-hmm.
and they would have these whole band sessions play, and there's these artists, and they're going through these takes,
Mm-hmm.
and to your ear, like you'd be like, damn, they fucking killed that shit. And then one of them would raise their hand and go, "Oh, I missed this note."
Yeah.
Or even the conductor at times would be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Nope, this person played off.
Yeah.
I need you to do this." And you're just like,
Yeah,
"Damn,
there is.
that's serious
there
ear
is-
training."
Yep, there is actually a very famous video of him doing that with a saxophone, because the saxophone was trying to play a flute line, and he was like, "This is not your." He yelled at him in front of everybody,
Yeah.
like, "This is not your line. Like, I wrote this song for the flute to jump in this part.
Yeah.
Don't do it." And he was like, "I don't have anything against you, and you know you're a great player, and your instrument is very important, but this part is not you.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot hit those lines like the flute."
Yeah. It won't feel the same.
Yeah, you can't hit those keys just like the flute, you know. So that's the art of like actually producing stuff.
No, absolutely.
And that was just a rehearsal session for a live show. And that's not even recorded on the studio. It's just a live show. Even though maybe this song was recorded, but then now he can't bring that same band because it's always changing.
Yeah.
But that's one of the inspiration definitely with his music. It's very full. I'm gonna put you onto it.
No,
It's
you
very
don't, you
nice.
don't have to put
Yeah.
me onto it. I definitely need to hear some stuff you're talking about because a lot
Yeah.
of stuff does sound very interesting, especially with like some of the original like Sudanese music we're talking where it's drum patterns singing. Like I love sampling, so I'm sure there's
Oh yeah.
sure there's some crazy
yeah.
shit.
I'm not a sampler at all. So
I think one of my last questions is so you be producing and stuff like that. Do you have any artists or anyone that you want to shout out personally that you've been working with, or that you that not even that you're working with either, but just people you see coming up right now that you think are gonna do some good stuff?
oh man, Shannon for sure. She's been shout out Shannon. She's been always down to make music, and she's always been
Good energy too.
good energy, and even when she's going through, because people go through stuff. Even when she's going through stuff, I always, whenever I tell her like, oh, there's a session, she's always pulling up.
Yeah.
And if I have a beat ready, she's always just picking
Ready.
up her phone writing. And I was like, no matter what she's going through. And I was like, I appreciate that so much. And it's because sometimes you never know, you can spark creativity from everything, from anything.
Yeah.
So that thing you're going through sometimes can be a spark for you to write something about
Absolutely,
it.
yeah.
And sometimes writing
of the best
something,
stuff.
and sometimes even writing and singing about it makes you feel a lot better than doing that. But Shannon always came through, and it's some of my best sessions.
No,
Shannon.
absolutely, yeah, no,
And also Aaliyah, she's a great singer. Oh man, she can hit those notes crazy.
yeah.
And we worked in 3 songs. Yeah.
And was
3?
this like artist that you was working outside of class, or was it someone?
Yeah, outside of class.
Okay, bet.
And then she's also coming in, even though she's also doing film school.
Okay, is
So-
that where you met her?
No.
How'd you guys meet?
Instagram.
Instagram, bet.
Yep.
You just like did you
I
see
just-
she was doing music, or like,
You know how Instagram just puts people nearby around you, and then I clicked on her profile and I was like, singer, and then I listened to her stuff and I was like, whoa.
Yeah, and you're like, hey, I
And
got
then,
I got some
yeah.
beats.
And I literally brought her in for the Fifth Cycles
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
And then I literally hit her up while I was like picking up the hours, like picking up like the booking the studio. When
Okay,
you do
yeah.
that line, people lining up, and I was like, please let me know. Please
I need
give me a date. Give me a
vocalist.
date so I can just give them right now.
Yeah.
And then she just gave me. It was a Thursday night, so pulled up, and she had a little bit. She had the chorus, like a hook ready, but she didn't have anything. Shannon was there. They both wrote the song, and jumped in the booth and sang.
Hell yeah.
And then whenever I send her a beat, she's always writing, and she's always be like, "Oh, that's fire! I'm starting writing right now." I was like, "I like that. Just write when it's hot. Just go ahead, do
It's
it."
always in the moment.
Yeah.
You can't write something, come back to it later. It's,
Yeah.
Once you feel that energy, you gotta go get
Mhm.
it.
And then that's that. And I'm also gonna be working with a lot of artists out here in LA.
Absolutely.
So I'm just waiting for me to settle down a little bit, and then I can start picking up on that.
Yeah, so any artists out there, if you're looking to record some stuff, get some beats, looking for someone to mix your music, master it, you can hit either one of us up. We got Recently MC on Instagram, and then we got 249Tahir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone else you want to shout out before we end this?
I want to shout out Mo, man. Mo is
Mo?
my best friend,
Okay.
and he doesn't know anything about like the technical stuff in audio. He listens to a lot of music, but he doesn't know shit about music. And he's always been there supporting me, man.
Hell yeah.
He's always been there. Whenever I had a session, he didn't know anything was going on in that session, but he's always been there, and he learns a little bit from it.
Hell yeah.
He's always just been supporting and be like, he always puts me in check. He's like, nah, this shit is not fire.
No, that's
And
good.
I
Like that's
I
more
like that.
important than having
Yeah.
someone you always agree with.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's your best work.
Yeah.
And then I was like, all right, cool. And then I started making it better until I impress him.
Yeah.
Because he listens to a lot of Sudanese, a lot of Western music, a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
So he
Keeps you on
definitely
your
got the
toes.
ear. Yeah. So he keeps me all the time. If it's fire, whenever he gets me like, oh, it's just fire, then I'll just be dancing out in the back.
you're
Like, yo,
yes,
shit,
let's
all right,
get
I got
that
him.
shit.
And finally, I want to shout out the most important person, my dad, man. He's
Shout out Pops.
without him, I don't think I'll be here, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot of support, a lot of emotional, financial, a lot of support, man. And yeah, I love this, man. Like, I love it more than anything.
Shout out Mo.
Yeah.
Shout out you personally
sir,
for being the first episode on Reason Presents. Hopefully we'll get some more of these going, and
Oh yeah.
hopefully we'll grow to something bigger, have you back, and hopefully we'll hear some of that new music coming out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, get that out the vault. But yeah, appreciate you for coming out, bro.
Oh, man.
All right, call it a wrap. See y'all next time. No, that was good. How long did we